All right, I'm here with Derek, and I met Derek in a Facebook group, and he was talking about a interesting business that he has. So thank you for being with us, Derek. And if you'll just kind of introduce yourself to my viewers, tell us a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into the business side of it.
Sure. Well, so my name is Derek Hayden. We are in Evansville, Wisconsin, and I guess to give a little bit of background on how the business became, how my business started. I've been in the automotive service business for 25 years. I was the guy you love to hate. I was the guy that got to tell you how much it was going to cost you to get your car fixed, and you were always ecstatic to see me when you came in to see your check engine light was on, and then I get to hand you your bill for $1,000 or whatever it was. So after 25 years, I'd been pretty dissatisfied for quite a while. For a good number of years, just didn't know what to do, but that was my whole identity. That was everything I knew how to do. I'd been in it my entire working life, since I was 20 some odd years old. And so I just really didn't know what else to come up with. Long and short of it is, in March of 2020, about 4 days before COVID shut down the world, my employer and I decided to part ways. I was dissatisfied with the job. They were not really happy with my performance. We talked. They didn't fire me. They laid me off with the idea to get me to be able to get some headspace clear and whatever, and maybe come back later on down the road, doing maybe something different with the company in sales or something like that. Okay. So didn't really know what to do. I was actually overjoyed that day. I actually felt pretty good. I'm like, all right. It felt good. It felt the weight was off of my shoulders at that point.
Now let me interrupt and ask you real quick, because a lot of people kind of can relate to what you're saying. I know that I can relate, of just being in a job that you've kind of grown discontent with. At that time, when you went home, did you have any other sources of income coming in, or was it like, okay, I'm home now, I got to figure something out quick?
We didn't. I mean, I had a little bit of, I'll get you more into that story in a second, but I mean, my wife works too, but it wasn't going to be enough to support the family. Mm-hmm. Yes, I had to find something pretty quick to do. So we kind of sat down, and I went, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, but we'll figure something out. For a few days, I'm going to take this time just to kind of clear my head. Reached out to a buddy of mine who has a clean out business. So he goes into homes and cleans out yards, cleans garages, rental units, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So talked to him. I knew he had some stuff going on. He got me involved in that for a little bit, a few jobs here and there as his business was growing. Had some other things that he was dabbled in with home remodels and that kind of stuff that I kind of helped out with. And we were on a road trip down, delivering a boat down to Kentucky. And knew it was a good way to make some money. He was going to pay me some cash to do it. Come drive with him. He'd drive down, I'd drive back. We knock the trip out and get it taken care of. And on that trip down there, he says, I got a great idea for a business for you. You should go scoop up dog crap. and I said, who the hell pays somebody to pick up dog crap out of their yard? He says, oh no, it's a business. I went, shut, really? And so I the wheels started turning, I guess, at that point in time.
And that's funny that you say just your description of learning about it. That's when I saw your post on Facebook, it just intrigued me.
Yeah,
kind
sure.
of like, is that a real thing? And I think somebody had mentioned, oh, so you do commercial dog cleaner upper. And you said, yep. No, I do mostly residential. So it's really interesting. So tell us some more about it.
Yeah. A side note, I mean, I'm looking to get into the resident or into the commercial side of it too, mm-hmm. into the HOAs and stuff. And that takes a little bit more work than I think I got to get my name established a little bit more right. before I'm able to get into those, but mm-hmm. that's future growth down the road for that as well. So I don't know, I dug into it, so that was what, middle of March. Kind of toyed around with a little bit, did a little bit of research,
Okay.
trying to come up with, I didn't know how to come up with a business plan. I didn't know how to do any of that. I've never done it before. So I kind of started dabbling, looking on the internet, seeing what jobs or what they were out there and that kind of thing, what the job entailed. And April 1st of 2020, Poo Patrol was launched. I had well, back up. I had, about 20 or 25, I think, spring cleanups.
So for those of us that don't know, what is a spring cleanup? Is that
The
just
spring
like you go out and clean up everything from the winter?
the winter time, yeah. And so we're
Okay.
being in Wisconsin, I mean, it can get pretty cold. People let their dogs outside all winter long and they won't clean up after them. Whereas in the summertime, they will, they go out every
Mhm.
week or so and pick it up. And in the wintertime, nobody wants to go out and do it. So there gets to be a pretty big pile of waste out there after winter. So spring
Right.
cleanups are popular. Those are busy times. So I had about 20 or 25 of them. Ended up with, I think, 8 or 10 weekly customers out of that. They would ask, well, do you do it every week? And I'm like, yeah, I can do it every week. And there we were. So
And how did you
I had
acquire those first customers?
everything was simply through Facebook community groups. So
Okay.
everything was through garage sale pages and Facebook,
Okay.
buy, sell, trade groups and that kind of stuff. That's where 90% of my business is coming from. I've done some Facebook ads and they don't amount to much. I think the real bread and butter, where I get most of that work through, is simply through the community pages. And people say, so, yeah, I don't want to do that. Somebody can do that. Sure. Poof. It's free. It doesn't take much time to create a little bit of an ad and say, here it is, and here's what I do.
Awesome.
So that was 2020. Had some other things going as well. So I didn't push the business too far after I got those 8 or 10 accounts.
Mhm.
Had a couple other part-time jobs going on. Everything was turning out, because I'm not one that wants to sit around much and whatever.
Right.
I want to work. I want to be out doing something.
Mhm.
And in January of last year, towards the end of January of last year, I kind of made the determination that there is real big potential for this to become something that could support our family.
So this was
Uh,
January 2021.
This is January 2021 now. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't clean the winter of 2020 I didn't clean. I stopped in December of 2020 and relaunched the business again. Because again, I only had 8 customers, and those 8 customers
Right.
like that just come back in the springtime when it's warmer and whatever.
Mhm.
But over the winter, I decided that this was really something that could really be a big potential. So in January of 2021, that's when we launched really started putting stuff out there. And spring clean started mid-March of 2021. I think I had 60 or so spring clean requests,
Wow.
60 or 70. I can't remember exact number, but it was a significant improvement. And through the course of 2021, I went from my 8 customers that I had to 35.
Wow. So let me ask you, so it's 2 different revenue models. You have a customer where you're doing regular cleaning, and then a spring cleaning is just like one price, one big cleanup. Is that how it works?
That's how it works, yeah. And then oftentimes I'm able to, well, not all the time, but quite often I'm able to convert those one-time cleanups to weekly services.
Okay.
And since then, at that point, when I have, after I've converted them, then they don't pay a spring clean fee at that point in time because I'm going there weekly.
Okay. So are you comfortable talking numbers? Like, are you doing this full-time now? Or are you still part-time? How much revenue
So
are you bringing in monthly?
right
That
now,
kind of stuff.
yeah, sure. Sorry. Yeah, as of right now, it's still part-time.
Okay.
It's, although now, trying to think of how this makes any sense. So I'm scooping about 20 hours a week right now.
Okay.
So, but those numbers are now increasing very quickly, like
Mhm.
to the point where I was at 35 weeklies. I launched a little bit of a campaign, well, actually a big campaign to all of those sites and stuff. And I think I've gained in the past week, like 10 or 12 weekly sign-ons.
Wow.
And of course, then they're going to be spring cleans as well. So I think I've got about 30 or 40 spring clean commitments at this point, and weekly. So now I think I'm about at that 45 mark on my weekly cleanups. Talking numbers wise, an average spring clean is $70 for an average size yard. My average weekly service to go out once a week, say if 2 dogs in an average size yard, is $18 a week.
Okay. So that's not a bad little side hustle you got going.
Not at
So
all.
70 spring cleaning times $70 a pop is almost $5,000.
In a month.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome.
if I can knock them out in a week, I've made really good money in a week with like no overhead. I mean,
Right.
what do I don't have a garage. I don't have a shop. I don't have a whatever. I got a 5-gallon pail, one of those little yellow lobby buckets, them
Right.
commercial sized dustpans, some garbage bags, and a rake and a scoop, and my truck.
That's awesome. So what's your vision for how big you want to take it? Are you thinking eventually you would hire people and keep growing it, or do you think you'd get it to a certain point where you could just be full time and that would be a nice little
The
thing and you'd be happy there? What are you thinking with it?
Yeah, the ultimate vision, grand scheme, pie in the sky, if I really reached out for the highest dream, would be to get all the marketing materials in place, get all the revenue streams in place, so everything is recorded and everything is documented, and whatever, to set it up as a franchise model. That's the ultimate for me.
Okay.
If I can get it set into a franchise model, I would be ecstatic. That would be cool.
That's a fantastic idea. Well, if you don't have, I mean, I know it's kind of a short little interview, but if you don't have anything else, where could people, if someone's watching this in Wisconsin and they want to reach out to you, if you want to send me a link, I'll put it down in the description, or if there's a website or something that they could go to, how would they get in contact with you
Sure.
if they wanted this
So I
done?
don't have a website yet. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
It's at Poo Patrol, POO Patrol, WI, is the Facebook and the Instagram link. I'm more active on Facebook than I am on Instagram. I'm still trying to figure the Instagram thing out. But most of my stuff is through Facebook at this point in time.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.